in the league as all eyes remain on Aaron Rodgers. We await his decision. Want to bring in Jeremy Fowler and Marcus Spears to talk a little Aaron Rodgers. Jeremy, a return to the Packers is certainly possible for Rodgers. There's another team out there that is expected to be an option with his thinking. How could the Denver Broncos potentially factor into this?
Well, Matt, from what I'm hearing, the Broncos are firmly in the mix. I believe that it's down to the Packers and the Broncos, and that's what Rodgers is weighing right now. Could be some other teams that try to get in this mix, but the Broncos are willing to do whatever is necessary from a contractual standpoint and from a draft capital standpoint. I'm sure they have a threshold, but they are aggressive in their pursuit, more so than most. And so it really does come down to the Packers, though, because they are adamant that they do not want to trade Aaron Rodgers. In fact, I spoke to a source who said that Rodgers might need to retire if he's intent on being traded right now because of all the draft capital and key players we would want from the team potentially acquiring Rodgers, making it too difficult to happen. But we will see.
Okay, so we know that the Broncos are in the hunt, according to the report of the Jeremy Fowler, Marcus. We saw this happen with Peyton Manning years back, left the Colts, went to the Broncos, went and won a Super Bowl. So let's do the hypothetical thing now. Let's say he does, Aaron, somehow end up in Denver. How equipped is this roster for a title run out of the AFC?
It's a phenomenal roster, Matt B. And offensively, he would have more at his disposal than he had in Green Bay. I know Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones, they cover up a lot of things, but when you start talking about Cortland Sutton and Tim Patrick and Jerry Jeudy, who's coming off an injury, we saw the rookie Javonte Williams run the ball. Melvin Gordon has been phenomenal. The offensive line is pretty good. So when you look at this team is a quarterback away, and we all know John Elway is sitting up there in that tower somewhere saying, man, if I can get Aaron Rodgers, if I can recreate what we had here a few years ago with Peyton Manning and DeMarcus Ware and Von Miller, and we talk about this vaunted defense as well, but they got some things to fix. And remember, Vic Fangio left. He was a phenomenal defensive mind. So that side of the ball is going to have some questions, even though I expect them to play at a very high level. But ultimately, what we're talking about is offense. And Aaron Rodgers' familiarity with Nathaniel Hackett and that offensive talent that they have in Denver, that should be a team that can run the scoreboard up while this defense figures out who they are and their identity with Fangio departing.
Spears, it's a great point. We keep talking about the connections, Aaron Rodgers, some of the moves they make. Nathaniel Hackett, head coach, comes over from Green Bay, a connection you might be able to point to. That hypothetical right now, some other franchise tag moves happening this hour. Jay, what do you have?
Yeah, Matt, the tag deadline tomorrow afternoon. Today, the Browns tagging tight end David Njoku. Njoku was third on the team in receptions with 36 for 475 yards and 4 touchdowns. He was set to be an unrestricted free agent after playing on his 5th-year option last season. Also, the Chiefs putting the franchise tag on offensive tackle Orlando Brown. That's from our Adam Schefter. Brown has made the Pro Bowl in 3 of his first 4 seasons in the league. Last season was his first with Kansas City. Jeremy, we've got just about 27 hours until the franchise tag deadline here, 4 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Aside from Devontae Adams, who are a couple of headline names that could be tagged before the deadline?
Well, Jay, let's stay with wide receiver. Chris Godwin is a prime franchise tag candidate for the Tampa Bay Bucks. They have made clear weeks ago from sources to me and recently to his camp, they want him long-term. They believe he's a cornerstone type player on their offense. So if they don't tag him by tomorrow, they will try to hash out a long-term deal before next week's new league year. They want him in a big way. That's why they might just take that $19.2 million, put it on the books, make sure that he's there. Player in a similar boat is Mike Williams with the Chargers. I'm told that the franchise tag for them is a last resort, but only because they have to keep him. He's a guy they want in their plans. $19 million is steep for them, but they have plenty of cap space. At one point, they had over $50 million in space, so they're going to spend in free agency and try to keep their own guys. And so if for some reason he's not tagged, he, like Godwin, will be a prime candidate to get an extension with his team before next Wednesday.
Marcus, I want to get back to Adams for a second. If you're the Packers here, what's the move with Devontae Adams, assuming you don't know what Aaron Rodgers is going to do?
Well, you know, Jay, obviously you franchise him, right? And Jeremy, who's been phenomenal reporting these moves and what teams are thinking. But the second part is the most important part. What does Devontae Adams do if Aaron Rodgers leaves? See, we keep talking about this franchise tag like that guarantees anything. We've seen guys sit out under franchise tags. They always hold out to get a long-term deal or things are being worked out. but I'm not sure if it's just that clear. And for anybody to think that Davante Adams' decision-making doesn't have Aaron Rodgers a part of it somewhere, you are out of your mind. These are two guys that are trending towards, not trending, these are two guys that are Hall of Famers. Davante is obviously trending towards that direction, but Aaron Rodgers and that connection and how dynamic they've been have led to Davante Adams being able to command whatever dollars he has to command as a wide receiver, obviously going to be the highest paid guy. But the franchise tag is a minute point. It's a moot point in this particular situation. What does Davante Adams think after that? Green Bay, here's a scenario. The franchise tag is laid on Davante Adams. Aaron Rodgers decides to go to Denver. Davante Adams is looking at the Green Bay Packers and asking them, what are we doing at quarterback? Because I still want to be a highly productive player on a team with the opportunity to win a championship. That is when it gets great. So stop detaching Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams situations. They are running parallel in certain circumstances. And when it comes to after this tag is placed, Davante Adams will be just like us, if he doesn't know already, trying to determine whether Green Bay is the best place for him to not only be there, but to be productive. We are talking about Aaron Rodgers being his quarterback and his type of production. That changes if he leaves, no matter if you have a tag on him or not.
Clock is ticking. See what happens. Marcus, Jeremy, thank you, man.
You guys want to talk a little NBA now? Warriors are struggling. Then again, you would too if you were entering a game tonight against the Nuggets without Steph Curry, Klay Thompson.